So, you've got this fantastic girl and it seems the feeling is mutual. But just when everything seemed perfect, you saw it. You've got competition, and worse, that guy is actually stealing the spotlight from you. Dude is upping his game, and you've noticed she's giving him a bit more attention. You're starting to feel like a loser, even though the game is still on. So how do you win? How do you rekindle her focus on you, thereby stealing the competition's thunder? Well, that's why we're here today, and we're going to be showing you what to do to make her want you even more than any other guy. Be in control. Yeah. I know, it probably sounds weird that being in control is the first thing to do to make her choose you over the other guy, but just listen. Understanding what makes women tick isn't about following the script Hollywood laid out for us. Contrary to the romantic movies that showcase nice guys making grand gestures to win a girl's heart, the reality is quite different. The truth is, attraction does not stem from overt displays of affection. It's actually rooted in nature. The fact is, a woman wants a man, and a real man is not someone that begs and kneels every time. A real man has control. She's not going to want you because you're always buzzing her phone begging to take her out. That's what a baby does. You need to keep things that make you look weak under wraps. You need to be able to maintain positive emotions regardless of what's happening in your romantic life. You need to keep investing in yourself rather than fixating on getting girls. Yes, you need to let your qualities speak for you. So, one way to stand out and make her choose you over the competition is this. Be your finest self. Don't be desperate and continue to grow. Chill. Don't go begging her not to choose the other guy. Rather, show her that you've got your life sorted and on a fast track to success, and if she wants to be a part of that, she needs to come correct. But what do I mean by she needs to come correct? That leads us to the next step. Give her a chance to chase. You ever heard of the saying that women love the chase? Well, it's not just a saying, it's a game changer when it comes to the dating game. You see, the girl that you want secretly wants to be the one putting in the effort to win you over. Alright, maybe not exactly you, but a worthy man. So, the magic lies in making yourself the prize, the coveted treasure that she works hard to attain. So, how can you do this? Be the high-value man who doesn't rush into commitment with anybody. Let her have her space, but even then, don't hide your intentions. Don't act like it's cool for her to leave you and go to him in public. You must understand that when she does things like this, she is testing you, and if you fail that test, you will suffer for it. Let her know where you stand and can continue to better yourself and never take crap from her. That way, you earn more of her respect, and eventually she's going to want to boast to her friends about how she stole you from the other girls. Bring positivity and happiness. Let's say that you've been away for some time, and for some reason, you guys have not been able to hang out. Well, when you're back and ready to see her, make sure to bring nothing but goodness and positive energy. This works especially when she's going through some challenges at work or even better in her relationship. In such cases, you should use laughter as a weapon. Never underestimate the impact of a good laugh, especially for a girl facing relationship struggles. You see, your ability to make her laugh, playfully tease, and create a lighthearted atmosphere will work wonders in your favor. If you successfully do that, she starts to see you as the angel that brings her good tidings in contrast to the storm brewing at home. Now, while you guys were hanging out, try to avoid discussions about her relationships or even work if possible. Your mission is to show her a good time, and that is all you should focus on. Showcase your worth. First off, you want to be seen as a high-value man. Also, she only wants a high-value man, so why should you not walk around like one? While humility has its place, subtly showing her your value is the key to taking her away from other guys. So how do you do this? First, be mindful of your look. Keep yourself impeccably groomed and wear clothes that align with your personality. This is not only showing her that you respect her enough to dress well, but that you also take your image very seriously. Also, don't shy away from displaying financial stability, but do so with finesse. One way that I do this is by bringing a generous gift for her or some relative. The trick is to avoid going overboard, ensuring your wealth complements your personality rather than overshadowing it. Also, let your status subtly shine through with the way that you talk and act. For instance, rather than telling her that you are successful at what you do, tell her stories of your experience dealing with big names and companies. The goal is to show who you are without coming off as a show-off. Now that we're halfway through the video, why don't you hit that subscribe button and support to the channel? Do the same with the like button if you're enjoying the video. Alright, all done? Let's get back to the list. Lecking. Now, picture yourself at a party where you are renowned for your talents. The spotlight's on you and everyone wants a piece of you. This is what lecking is about. Whether it's a skill, a passion, or a knack for something special, showcasing your abilities implies competence. Besides, having only one particular talent suggests to her that you're probably good in certain other areas, which only amplifies your appeal. You see, this is true of the animal kingdom, which is actually where the word lecking is originally used. So, lecking is when a male displays abilities aimed at attracting females. Birds sing to outdo one another, and rams clash horns to demonstrate physical prowess, and so on. So, what do we humans do? Well, we have fun by playing games, sports, and so on. And yes, the winner truly takes all, both the money and the affection. So do some research on how your competition is failing and get better at some of those things. Does your girl love karaoke and the other guy's a poor singer? Do some vocal training and outdo him whether he's there or not. This is another way to outdo the other guy. And trust me, when it comes to blowing a girl's mind, less is more when done right. It's not always about grand gestures like daily bouquets or overt compliments. Instead, the real magic lies in those little details the other guy, or even her, misses. Share how her dress reminds you of a particular love story writer, or tell her something interesting about earrings that she's wearing. If you notice that she often wears a particular lipstick during your dates, let her know that you noticed. And trust me, it will leave a lasting impression. Women crave the personal touch. The kind that shows you see beyond the surface. It's not just about what you say, but how keenly you observe and appreciate the finer details of who she is. This will make her more impactful if the other guy doesn't do it, and even if he does, she'll still love you for it. Yet there is nothing to a woman like pointing out a detail that she didn't even notice. Keep mystery in the air. Now, while openness is great, there is so much to be gained in the dating arena by maintaining an air of mystery. It's a bad idea to be an open book. Instead, strategically reveal layers of your personality to her in ways that build suspense and intrigue. I have a friend that is a doctor and kind of looks like a nerd, so you'd never guess that he was really into jiu-jitsu. Women always go crazy for him when they see him fight. But why? By creating a sense of mystery, you engage her curiosity. Most women love surprises, and you need to have one of them in the bag for her at intervals. Think of things about you that she wouldn't believe and slowly reveal some. Just enough to pique her interest, but not everything, so she comes wanting more. This is a tried and true method for sparking an irresistible attraction. The internet has made it so that even while your girl is sitting across from you, she can be crushing on another man and even talking to him. What does that mean? It means trying to keep your woman by simply being there is not enough. To keep her, you need to get her obsessed. She needs to be in constant awe of you. If she's not always thinking about you, then there is a problem. So look, the desire that your woman should be obsessed with you is not a want, it is a need. Make a killer first impression. First impressions matter 1000%, and when it comes to meeting women, trust me, we all judge the book by its cover, so be careful here. Your body language and overall look in those initial moments are key. So make yourself better, stand tall, be confident, walk in the room like you're on a date with destiny. And don't forget that smile. It's a universal language and it makes you more approachable. But then, you have to tread carefully when it comes to confidence. What you need is not arrogance, but confidence. You see, confident people are just magnetic, drawing people into themselves. The key here is being yourself at its finest level, so let your confidence stem from self-assurance, rather than a desire to overshadow others. Disappear for a while. So this is where the game begins, and here's where you have to play your cards right. Now, imagine a child who gets to play with toy for years. Often the baby enjoys playing with the toy up to a certain point. When the toy starts to become boring, they drop it. Soon, if daddy comes home with a new toy, that new toy becomes the favorite. That is human nature. You become boring by simply being too available. Constantly being present without moments of absence will make you lose the special quality that attracted her in the first place. So what do? You take calculated off time from the relationship. You can go on a vacation alone, or simply just find excuses to avoid seeing her for like a week or so. This gives her time to reflect on the value that you being there brings, And plus it creates a void that can only be filled by you. Create an air of mystery. I know it probably sounds like some devious strategy, but you gotta understand that mystery is very important to keep your relationship interesting. Obviously, no one wants a boring relationship, but that's what happens when you become completely predictable. With your first impression, you captivate by being unpredictable. So how do you do that? First of all, you need to be careful not to become an open book too soon. Now, let's say she's known you as a real estate agent, but you also have a passion for photography. Don't immediately tell her. You can drop hints, but don't just say, "Yeah, I'm actually in photography." Keep it all under wraps until presumably when you guys go on a vacation together, and then you can suddenly switch from real estate man to photographer. Resist the urge to show her everything about your life in the first few weeks. Instead, let your life unfold naturally, chapter by chapter, before her. Know this, human psychology is wired to appreciate the value of things not fully known. So by subconsciously withholding certain details, you increase your value in her eyes when you later reveal them. Create competition in her mind. There is something called social market value, and it basically means that girls value you more when they can see that other girls want you. In the popular book 48 Laws of Power, the third law is conceal your intentions, and the story there involves a woman named Ninon Lenclos. She was helping a prince attract a girl, and there was one time she told the prince to let the girl see him around other women. Why? It starts a competition, and girls, you better believe it, girls love to chase. You see, when a woman senses that other women are interested in her man, it immediately heightens your value and makes you even more desirable. It also triggers her in a way that makes you more appealing. The simple idea is, if women want you, then you're special and you're worth fighting for. Plus, she would like to be the winner of that competition. And when you do this correctly, just the thought that she could potentially lose you to another woman fuels a heightened focus on you. This focus makes her obsess over you. So does this mean that you should start introducing several women to her as your new girlfriends? Of course not. Of course not. Just compliment other girls from your workplace and basically let her see you having a good time while with other girls. Now that we're halfway through the video, why don't you hit that subscribe button to support the channel? Maybe do the same for the like button if you're enjoying the video. All done? Let's get back to the list. Establish yourself as high value. Now listen. There is no doubt that you can attract girls with flashy displays of your sports cars, Rolex watches, and expensive suits. That can work. Up to a certain point. After that point, the real things become important and the material things fade. And then she starts looking outside again for someone who has more than just cars and watches. So if you really want to keep a woman, you need to establish yourself as a high-value man. So how do you do that? Take Steve Jobs, the mind behind Apple, for example. Jobs didn't just flaunt his wealth. He created a vision and constantly shared his aspirations and plans. That's what you need to keep her obsessed. But how do you implement this business strategy in your relationship? Tell her where you're headed with your life and show her progress. For example, you can set a goal to gain a promotion in your work before the end of a particular year. Let her know that when you achieve it, you got it. And then you want to celebrate it and let her know your next target. This way, it feels like you're taking her on a journey to success, and who doesn't like a good journey? 6. Be inattentive sometimes. When I was a noob, I once dated a girl and I liked her a lot. I would always call her and take her out 4 times a week. First off, taking a girl out 4 times a week shows the girl that you don't have anything going on for you. Anyway, she soon started avoiding me until she finally sent me that message. It was over and I caused it. So ever since then, I learned that too much attentiveness to a woman is bad. Yeah, giving your girlfriend attention is crucial, but when you do it too much and sacrifice your own pursuits and identity, you lost her. Many men fall into the trap of becoming overly available. They bend over backwards to fulfill every whim. Trust me, that does not end very well. Sometimes you need to not be there for her. Yeah, you want to be there for her when she's sick and she can't help herself and when she really needs somebody. But beyond that, introduce a little bit of break, a little variety, be a little bit scarce. After all, she needs to know and see that you have a life. You got things going for you. You need to show her that you are building something great for the future and you can't always be there for her. You can't always reply to her texts and take her out. There may have to be times when you can't make it and then you guys have to reschedule, and if you don't do this, you risk becoming a doormat. The sexy stare. You can ask any woman and she will tell you that there is something about a man who knows how to hold a sexy stare. It's gonna make her feel like she is the sole focus in a world full of distractions. Mastering this art not only shows confidence, but it also keeps your girl intrigued. So let's say you've been avoiding her calls for a while and you just went on a week's vacation and she hasn't seen you in a while. Well, when you finally come around, you have to give her all the attention by staring into those beautiful eyes. You want to return to her with good tidings, like a Viking who sailed the seas in search of treasure and returned to his family with gold and precious stones, and more importantly, stories. You see, in your absence, you've created a void, and now that you're back, you should fill that void, and a subtle way to do it is through a sexy stare. While she's telling you about her office life, just suddenly plug in that sexy stare with a little smile. If you do it right, you might just blow her mind and keep her obsessed. She always says, "Let's talk later." I'll go through these points quickly, and I expect you to scribble them down. One of the essential foundations of any relationship is communication, and when that is broken, it's only a matter of time before the remaining aspects crumble. Whenever you hit that chick up, and she always tells you, "Let's talk later," what she's saying to you is that she doesn't have your time. A lady who loves you from the depths of her heart will, and I repeat, abandon all she does to speak to you. It is all right if her schedule holds her up, but if it persists, my friend, do not hesitate to hit the road. The secret, I tell you, is simple. Ladies are wired to love a guy and, most significantly, speak to the one that they love. So when you take the time to call and she tells you she's busy, someone else is keeping her alive. Some of you might complain to her about it, and what it translates to is you being insecure. Don't assume that she doesn't know what she's doing. That lady is capable of reasoning, and I advise you to walk away. My ex used to do that. I once heard a song by a renowned artist, and one line from the lyrics stuck around in my mind. Comparison kills. There is no more tremendous disrespect and disservice to you than for that lady that you've given all, telling you, "My ex used to do that." When she tells you that, it usually translates to 4 things or points. Anita, that lady with charming beauty, is telling you that you can never be as good as her ex or held in high esteem as him. She's living in the past. It would help if you strive to be like her ex, thus losing your uniqueness. And worst of all, she would walk away with her ex if he returned. None of the 5 points on the menu stands in your favor. I hate to compete, and I can assure you that when you find the right one, you won't need to compete with anyone. It's your fault. I used to date a lady who was never wrong, and believe me when I say it is the worst thing that could happen to a male character. A lady who is never wrong is the nemesis of a man with a destiny. That lady can destroy your self-esteem and make you forget what love is. But luckily, my friend, you got me. When Haley is never wrong, it is proportional to saying someone else is. The blame game is to make you less valuable. What that damsel strives to obtain or pass to you as perceived information is that she's doing you a favor by dating you. As holy as Haley is, she's now gone low to your level. We all have our faults, but what you seem to be the only one taking the blame, there are 2 options for you. You stay in, or you get out while you can. Criticizes your every move. "I expected you to say bye to her and walk away," she says, and you reply, "But she's my cousin." This point is a close cousin to always taking the blame. It is one thing to always be in error when an issue arises, but it's another, or even worse, to be at fault for your actions. All ladies put their men on a pedestal, and believe me, that is why they love you in the first place. But when her opinion is bent towards pleasing herself rather than bringing out the best in you, I advise that you walk away. The relationship should improve you, but when you remember the past and observe that you are a shadow of who you were, heed my advice and run. It was fine. Irrespective of personality differences, it is a fact that females talk a lot when they're around those that they care about. You ask her about her day and she says, "Fine." Contrary to her nature, she gives you blunt remarks. Remember my emphasis at point 1. If she isn't talking to you, she's entertaining someone else. You can't remember having any differences with her, and even if you did, she refuses to say. If Esther is not willing to share her day with you, she probably doesn't love you anymore. One of the pinnacles of relationship is sharing. If there is no sharing, then, my friend, move on. I will divorce or I will break up with you. I view a relationship in this manner. You ask her out, she agreed, and even though she played hard to get in the beginning, as soon as she agrees to date you, it is supposed to stop. As the relationship persists, there is supposed to be a balance. Though it might sound impossible, the difference should not be too noticeable. When that girl of yours threatens to break up with you every time there's a quarrel, it's because she doesn't love you anymore, and it's glaring that you are more invested in the relationship than her. Hannah, as her name might be, assumes or knows that you depend on her, and when she threatens to break away, you'll get back in line. Dump that chick today. I don't trust you. I once read a profound line from a novel written by a renowned American novelist. She said, "Truth is the matter of the imagination." You might be wondering what trust has to do with truth, but bear with me because they're proportional. When your fiancé considers your every action and all that she sees is that you are cheating on her, she believes it to be true. And my friend, once truth is established, there is nothing else to be said. Many guys try to convince this said fiancé, but they fail. You cannot counter the truth, so move along now. He kissed me. To help you understand this point, I'll show you a scenario. You walk in on your fiancé, kissing your best friend. And with an expression of shock in your eyes and a sudden separation of the two, you muster these 3 words. What's going on? It might not be the case for different guys, but still she refuses to take responsibility for her actions. When she feels remorseful, you will see it in her actions. But instead, she removes it from her and points it to someone else. I advise leaving that chick because many other guys will kiss her and do more. And they will take the blame, not her. It was nothing serious. Closely related to the former point, she tries to tell you how to feel concerning her unfaithfulness. I caught my girl chatting with her ex, and it wasn't some ordinary conversation. Anita even saved his name as Special One. And when I expressed how I felt, she insisted that I was overreacting. According to her, she just wanted revenge for what he did to her. Telling you how to feel about an action that affects both of you is no good, my friend. It even violates the law of democracy. You should be free to express yourself. Please leave me alone. When I broke off from a toxic relationship and met my current girl, one thing stood out. Whenever we had any kind of issue, whether it was me or her, we tried to fix it. We set up a rule, extracted from the excellent book to help break the walls when we suffered a difference in opinion or a quarrel. Never let the sun go down on your anger. A girl who prefers to be alone rather than fix whatever differences you might have with her is no good for you. We have to nurture every relationship, and when she kicks against every attempt to fix it, that she wants to break up, and I implore you to walk away. I regret to say this, but whatever dream you have of her should be thrown away. There are many fish in the sea, and that's not to prompt you towards promiscuity, but it is rather to inspire you to always strive for the best. Get out of that toxic relationship, buddy. Click on the following video to get you a new chick quickly.